Before the days of air conditioners, houses in the Northern Territory were built to a more sustainable design. Nowadays, those wanting to build a greener, cleaner house say it's like fighting a war to get approvals and to find someone to build it.
What I like about it is it lets the outside in. It's like living in a tent. It's just like living in a tin tent on a stick, basically.
You're very close to what's happening with the weather, and every time you look any direction in the house, it's a picture.
Andrew and Helen Spears are living in their dream house on a remote block near Darwin River Dam.
I really love this room because it's always breezy.
The house is self-sufficient, complete with rainwater tanks and solar power.
We've got a good system in, we don't need a backup generator, we only use about 10% in any one day of what power is available because it's always renewing itself.
The house has a large air gap in the roof which helps stop heat radiating into the house.
It's got a high-pitched roof. So as a result, this house doesn't have any perceptible radiated heat coming from the roof, even in the hottest part of the day.
It's a design feature Andrew Spears learnt about in the 1960s when he studied architectural design at university.
It's interesting to me that we knew these things in the 1960s, but in the next century we're still not doing them.
The couple had a tough battle convincing others that the design of their dream home would work. It took them 7 years to finally complete their house.
I got a lot of resistance because our modern building code starts with the premise that the whole house is going to be air conditioned. So I found that the builders here don't like to do new things. It took me 4 years to find a builder who was interested.
If builders can find work that's quick and easy in materials that they're very used to operating with, such as bricks, they'll probably choose those quick and easy jobs that they know they can finish and move on to the next job.
In the top end, housing developments like these are becoming more and more common. Environmental groups say it shows a lack of vision and reluctance to think outside the traditional block housing designs.
There's very little room for vegetation, and that means that you end up with a whole suburb that's like a heat sink, really, because the air surrounding your house is hot and one wall radiates off onto the next. I think the suburb of Muirhead is an attempt to try and build more tropical design style houses, but we'll have to wait and see how that turns out.
Tennant Creek builder Red Centre Homes is one outfit wanting to pioneer different designs. It wants to build long-lasting, well-priced homes.
Our clients are government bodies, service providers, and they want homes that are going to be durable and cost-effective.
But this is new ground for the company, so they're seeking help from the experts. Ecosystem Homes in Queensland is helping builders move to more sustainable designs. They say there's an unmet public demand for more environmentally sustainable housing.
Builders build what they've always done. So what we had to do is create a program of building system designs, allowing the smaller builder access to this type of building. It's a need because people are more educated now, except the building industry build what they've always done.
There are some fine homes in Darwin, all built up on piles to defeat the white ant, and also possibly to allow the owner to garage his car beneath.
Back in the 1930s, the government architect of the day, Benny Burnett, built homes like these with the tropical climate in mind.
These are wonderful. You know, you open them up and you're in touch with the outside, you have a breeze. It's a very pleasant place to be.
Burnett House at Miley Point influenced the design of the Spears' dream home at Darwin River Dam.
So he oriented his houses so that he could pick up the northwesterly breezes in the wet season and the southeasterly breezes in the dry season, and where possible put no intervening walls across the airflow.
Elizabeth Close is the director of the Northern Territory Heritage Trust, which maintains Burnett House. The beautifully designed and constructed building draws crowds of visitors interested in seeing how Darwin's top public servants used to live. Elizabeth Close isn't surprised architectural design has changed over time.
The real reason for the change is that we've come to look at housing in a different way. We need it to be a little bit more affordable, and also I think we've moved to air conditioners.
But the Spears family home is living proof life in the tropics can go on without air conditioning, and the couple hope their home provides inspiration for others.
A lot of people like to visit this house because, in their words, this is something that they would have liked to have built, but they were told was impossible to do.
If you think outside the square, you can make a really interesting house, but it doesn't actually cost you a whole lot more, and you're not using materials that aren't easily found.